G'day legends, it's Mark here from North Oz, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you 5 things I wish I knew before embarking on my epic trip to Cape York. So let's get stuck into it, it's going to be a good one. So for those of you who are new to the channel, me and my mate Alex recently just went up to the top of Australia, the Cape York Peninsula. It was honestly the best time. I made a video on that, so if you haven't checked that out already, please make sure you go ahead and do that. It was honestly such a good time. I learned so much from it in terms of things I would do, things I wouldn't do. But we also did it in 6 days, which was also, again, something that we have learnt from. But from that video, we got a lot of comments asking about tips and tricks. So this is kind of in response to that, to try to help you guys get out there and have your very own epic Cape York adventure. So the very first piece of advice that I have for people is something that I wish I knew before I left to go on what was my biggest trip that I've ever done so far for driving and camping. And it's that you don't need to have all of the gear to visit the tip. That is a very important thing that a lot of people forget. We see it on YouTube and Instagram, all these people promoting all of these different products. Guys, you don't need all of the equipment. Please do not waste your money on going out and spending all this money on fridges, big battery systems, roof racks, the latest and greatest in rooftop tents, whatever it is. Lift kits for your 4 drives. Don't waste thousands of dollars on things that you don't need. If all you want to do is visit the tip of Australia, you can do that without having to spend a whole pile of money. Now, if you want to see the gear that I have used, and it is very limited, it's very essential, have a look at my video on the Cape York adventure. I show in detail the different pieces of equipment that I use, but it's things like a basic camp chair. I have a swag. I, run a tub rack, which is only $500 that I wanted to use to be able to get my swag out of the tub because I needed the space. And that's pretty much all I really needed. Now, did I run a fridge? Yes. Do I have a dual battery? Yes. Do I need it? Absolutely not. I could have gotten away with just using an esky, and I ended up eating anyway at a lot of the places along the way, at service stations, at small little places you can find in towns, roadhouses, things like that. So there are a lot of places that you can visit along the way to stock up, so you don't really need to have this full off-the-grid setup unless you want to go ahead and go off the track and go to old teletrack and do that sort of stuff. If you're spending your time off the main road, then yes, you will have different requirements. But if you just want to visit the tip, you don't need all the gear. And that's the very first thing that I wanted to say to you guys. Now, the second point, and possibly the most important, is that you do not need a 4-wheel drive vehicle to be able to visit the tip of Australia. You just don't, okay? The reason why is there is only one river crossing in the dry season. There is only one river crossing between Cairns, so that's where I am, here, and the very tip of Australia. And it is something in like the last 10 kilometers. There's just one river crossing. Now, do you need a little bit of clearance in your vehicle? Absolutely, you do. You need to have at least a little bit of height to be able to get out of the creek. It doesn't need to be ridiculous, okay? There were vehicles that went up there. I'll give you an example. You can do this in a Mitsubishi ASX. I'll put up a picture of what one of those are right here. That is a 2-wheel drive vehicle. You can get away with an all-wheel drive vehicle, absolutely. That's even better again, but do you need it? No, okay? If you just have a rear-wheel drive old Hilux that you want to take for a drive up, you can even do it in a wagon. Things like your Subarus and that, they could absolutely do that, no worries. The only time where you might have a little bit of trouble is if you've got maybe like a sedan, where you'll get so far, but you probably won't be able to do that final river crossing. When I went anyway, and there was still a little bit of water around when I went because it was raining. Now, do you need a 4-wheel drive vehicle to be able to go to the tip? No, you don't. Would it help? Absolutely. Now, I ended up using 4 high, so that means I've taken the vehicle from rear-wheel drive into 4-wheel drive. I did that probably for maybe 10% of the trip, I would say. Did I need to do it? I didn't. I really didn't need to take the vehicle out of 2-wheel drive to get into 4-wheel drive at any point. I did it more just as a precautionary, but looking back now, it was complete overkill. I didn't need to do it. Now, for those of you who haven't seen that video, I am running a 2023 Hilux Rogue. So it has some off-road capability. It's got some over fenders and things like that for clearance on tires, and it's got a bit of a lift in it and stuff. I didn't need a vehicle as serious as that for the trip. I really didn't. I still ran the stock tires, which people have absolutely roasted me for, both in that video and in the past. People saying, what are you doing using those tires? Buy big mud terrains and all terrains. You don't need that stuff. Don't listen to those people unless you want to go and do serious mud crazy stuff. Do not spend your hard-earned cash on doing that. I would rather spend $2,000 on replacing brand new tires. I'd rather spend that $2,000 and travel to another place in Australia. So that is my second tip, is that you do not need to have a four-wheel drive to be able to visit the tip of Australia. Before we move on to the next point of things that I wish I knew before traveling to Cape York, can I get you guys to do me a massive favor? And it's to like the video, because that helps YouTube identify that this video is something that you enjoyed. So that would help me out a lot. And also subscribing, that would again help me out a huge amount. If you've already subscribed, thank you guys so much. The support has been awesome. It really pushes me to make more content and to make my videos better for you guys as well. And please put something down in the comment section about maybe something that you would like to see about the Cape York video that I did. I've got a lot of like uncut footage, so things that didn't make it into the major video. So if you want me to talk a little bit about that, or if you have any questions about this video, so you want more tips, please let me know down in the comment section, and I'd be more than happy to address those in a future video or just answer your comments. So I do really want to get to 10,000 subscribers by the end of this year. It is definitely a goal of mine, so you guys can help me make that goal come true, and I really do appreciate it. Let's get on to the next point of things I wish I knew before I left to go to the top of Australia. Let's do it. Now, the third tip is that you don't need a whole pile of food and water. For whatever reason, people seem to think that there is absolutely nothing between Cairns and the very top of Australia, and they are wrong. There are lots of places that you can fill up with water. If you're staying at different stations for camping, roadhouses, you can fill up water there. You can buy water there. Yes, it's a bit more expensive, but you can still get food and water north of Cairns. It is absolutely there. People live in these places. They rely on food and water from those areas too, so it has to be in the towns and it has to be in places. So there is absolutely food and water. Do not go out and spend thousands of dollars on just basic food, because you can find that there anyway. So if there are things that you want to bring, specific things, absolutely bring them. It's always going to be cheaper to buy it in Cairns anyway, so that is a great tip too. But if you're concerned about not having enough like food storage and you need to go out and spend thousands of dollars on big fridges to store everything, you really don't need to do that. You can still buy things along the way. And the same thing with water as well. If you just bring your own water, I ended up taking something like 20 or 30 liters for 6 days, and that was plenty for me, and it was like $15 to do. So you don't need to spend all this money on water containers and this and that and big fridges and stuff to freeze your food. You don't need to do that unless you want to go, like I said, off grid for a really long amount of time, and you want to stay at the stations for 4 or 5 days at a time, and you want to take a lot of time going between here and the top. Then yes, maybe have some sort of food storage and some way to keep your favorite foods cold. But if you're just going up and back like me and my mate did in 7 to 10 days, then you'll find that as long as you've got some of your favorite foods, then you should be able to get through okay. We ended up eating at a lot of the roadhouses and that anyway, like I've said. So, dinners and stuff were already sorted for us. So keep that in mind, that there are places to eat and to get water along the way. Now, the fourth thing was really interesting, because all I heard before I went up to the tip of Australia was that how expensive fuel was. Everyone said, yep, the second you leave Cairns, fuel is going to be really, really expensive. So be prepared, bring lots of cash. They don't have card up there, so make sure you bring lots of cash, and the fuel up there is really expensive. The fuel up there was not expensive. I thought it was going to be ridiculous amounts, but it really wasn't. The highest number that I saw on the Bowser was $2.70. That's the most that I paid for fuel going up, and that's diesel that I was running. $2.70, and that was at the Bramwell Junction Roadhouse. So just in case you're wondering, that was the most expensive place, $2.70. And once we started to go back north again, it started to get cheaper, where I think Bamaga was something like $2.30, $2.35, something like that. So the most we ended up paying, and that was, about 2 months ago now, the most we ended up paying was $2.70. So not a ridiculous amount. It's the cost of going more remote, but everyone said how expensive it was going to be. Every place that I didn't even spend any cash at all the entire time for the entire trip. And we stopped off at pretty much every stop that you possibly can. And every place took cards. So the ferry took card, all of the places we visited, so all the roadhouses, they all took card. I didn't use cash once. So keep that in mind. Yes, fuel is a bit more expensive, so make sure you leave with a full tank. But apart from that, you just end up paying the prices that you have to anyway. And again, one more tip that I'd have for you guys as well is always fill up to the very top whenever you get the chance. It's just good practice as well. Now, the fifth thing that I wish I knew before I went to the Cape is that there's really not many places to be able to fix your car. It sounds like, well, obviously, Mark, because it's pretty remote, but all of the places that we visited, we were expecting there to be some sort of repair shop there. We ended up getting a flat tire, so we ended up visiting every repair shop along the way between here to the top of Australia. And every place that we visited either didn't have a functioning workshop or they weren't working that day. And we would ask about the next town. They said, yeah, don't worry, the next town, 300-400 kilometers up, go ahead and visit them. They have someone that can fix it. We get there, again, same story. And that happened all the way up to the very top. And all the way up to Bamaga, which is the most northern town that you can pretty much visit in Australia. So again, that was probably something that I wasn't expecting. Yes, of course, I wasn't expecting there to be big workshops there, anything like that. But if you want to get something fixed and in a hurry, it's either going to cost you a lot of money to be able to tow your vehicle somewhere, or two, there's not going to be any shops around to be able to help you out. So just keep that in mind. If you have a repair that needs to be done, try to get as much done. So get your vehicle serviced at home first before you head out on your trip. It'll save you a lot of time. It'll save you a heap of money. Well, guys, that concludes today's video on 5 things that I wish I knew before I went to the Cape. And I hope that this helps you guys out too. Now, before we leave, I do want to share a couple of things with you guys, a couple of exciting updates as well. So the first thing is I want to say thank you, first of all. The response from the Cape York video was overwhelming. It is the highest viewed travel video that I've done so far. It took me a lot of time to make that video. It also cost a lot of money to make that video too. I really do appreciate you guys liking that video, commenting, and even just watching it. That honestly means a lot to me to share. It's a lot of effort to film it, obviously to edit it, and also to bring the camera out all the time while we're traveling. It's something that I really want to do. It's something that I really want to share with you guys, something that I really want to document as well, as I really want to document my travels. And having you guys there along with me is something that's really special to me. So I really just want to say thank you. First of all, I want to say thank you for subscribing, liking, commenting, all your kind comments as well. Honestly, we have such a nice community here. We have very little negative comments on our channel, and it just makes me want to make more and more content for you guys. And I hope that it's stuff that you enjoy. I try to look at your comments. I try to look at the videos that you really like and try to make more of the stuff that you enjoy. Because obviously, if you guys enjoy it, then I enjoy it as well. We have very shared interests like that. The second thing I want to say is that I got a super thanks the other day. And it's not something that I expect, absolutely not, because I ticked the super thanks button on the channel. It's basically like a donation. And I ticked that button on the channel a long time ago. And the other day, I got a notification saying that Ephraim gave me a super thanks. So I actually just want to thank Ephraim for, putting some money into the channel. And that's something that I've never asked you guys to put money into the channel and do what we do. You guys viewing it is plenty for me. I really appreciate that. That's plenty of support. But the fact that people want to go above and beyond to support is just, it blows my mind. And I really do thank people, for watching the videos, for buying stuff from the website as well, which I have to shut down, unfortunately, because it is costing me a bit too much money. So if you guys would like to support the channel, please consider the super thanks. That's really the only way to do that now if you want to go a bit above and beyond. But everyone who bought stuff on the website while it was up, that was something that really means a lot to me as well. Now, we do have a lot of extra merchandise, so I will be doing some giveaways in future videos, so please keep an eye on that. So we will be still moving some shirts and some hoodies and things like that, some stickers. So keep an eye on how you can win one of those. We'll run some funny competitions in the community page and different things, caption activities and things like that for photos. So keep an eye out for that. So that's going to be a way that I'll give back to you. Now there is, again, I've got 2 more exciting updates. If you've stayed all the way to the end of this video, well done. But I've got 2 more exciting updates. The first one is that I went out and I'm trying to give back to all of the effort that you guys are putting into me as well. So the more effort that you guys are giving me, the more effort I'm putting back to the channel. So I have went out and I bought a drone. So I'm trying to learn how to use this thing right now, and I'm hoping that I can get some really nice shots for you guys and really increase the production quality of what we are doing here at North Oz. No, it's not going to be like some of the big high quality forward driving channels. That's not my intention anyway, but maybe just to improve the video production quality a little bit would be fantastic. And hopefully I don't break this thing before I actually use it for the first time. I've got one final update for you guys, and I've got a very exciting channel update coming very soon. I can't tell you what it is. It is something that I think a lot of you guys have been asking for. It's something that I've had a lot of people meeting you in person asking me to do as well. So it is a very exciting update. So you don't want to miss that. I'll give you a hint. It is arriving late this month. That's all I'm going to say. So I will leave you with that. If you have an idea about what could possibly be happening, let me know in the comment section. How about this for a giveaway? Whoever guesses what it is, that is coming towards the end of the month. Whoever can guess it correct, then I'll put you in the draw to win a shirt. How about that? A North Oz shirt. So guys, I'll leave it there. As always, I do appreciate all your comments, all your support, and I'm really looking forward to future videos and sharing them with you guys too. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you very shortly in the next video. Take care.